Hello traders, good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you Finspot NFP trade setup for the 6th of October 2023. I'm going to be telling you, I'll show you directly on the chart, and at the end of the video, show you my personal result from that trade. All right. I'm going to be telling you some of the things I had to look out for and tell you what my general bias for gold is, and then just take you through the set. So let's go straight to the chart without actually wasting our time. So this is my gold chart. On this chart, the first thing I would like to show you is the fact that over the last few months, in fact, over the last 1 year exactly, you would see that, gold has been downtrending, right? And this is what you would see, right? Probably not up to a year, right? I think since May 2023, you can see that, gold has been, on the downtrend, basically. And from what you can see, before that downtrend, this is actually the highest point gold ever got to. And every attempt for gold to break this trend line was frustrated, right? And tried to make an attempt, but still could not, close above that point on the 19th of September, right? So the general bias for now is gold, but I personally have a temporary bias, for gold buy, right? And I will tell you why, okay? The reason why I have a general bias for gold buy is because, as you can see, ever since gold, broke this order block that could not hold. This is a bullish order block that could not hold because this was the last bearish candle, right? For those of you who don't understand smart money concept, please stay tuned to this channel and you will get informed, in all the videos that explains what, smart money concept is. All right. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, I will advise that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and then turn on the notification button so that you can get informed anytime we share a new video, and you can learn a lot from this channel. So I know definitely that, maybe not too definitely, but from what I know about price action after this major break, it is only a matter of time for price to get back to this particular point. And if you understand smart money concepts very well, you will know that this was meant to be a bullish order block, because this was at the point, the last bearish candle that painted before we saw this 1, 2, 3 days move to the upside, and then you just saw a spike above the trend line, and then price was coming down. Now, the expectation of many traders is that once this bullish order block is painted, and particularly because you will see a confluence with the previous order block, this last, bearish candle that actually painted before this other one, the first thing anybody could think about is that as soon as price gets to this space, the next thing that should happen is that this other block here should actually give rise to a break of structure. But this never happened, right? 1952, price was actually supposed to come from here after getting, based on what we know in theory, right? Come here, break this and continue upward. But this never happened. All right. So I know definitely that this bullish order block that was violated is going to get tested at some point. How long? I don't know. So for that reason alone, I have a bullish bias for gold, at least up onto this point. So I love this zone. I would like to see how gold will react to this zone, in the future. But I know definitely that will not happen, with one single candle or in just one single day, except there is something seriously fundamental that happens in the market. So this is on the 5th, just before, the new candle open, or the new day candle open. So this is what I could see. So I know that the last point that price could ever get to on the 5th was this 1813.03. All right. So the next thing I want to check is to look at the bigger picture. And what do I mean by the bigger picture? I want to go to a higher time frame than the daily to see if I could see any reference point that, price may trade into. Don't forget, my bias is bullish. So I'm actually looking for, irrespective of what the news is, I'm actually looking to buy gold. So I want to stick to my bias. I don't want to probably start jumping into buy or sell in the market. So, and I'll probably manage my risk just to ensure that, I don't blow my account. So what did I do? I went to the weekly time frame, and this is what I could find. Very interesting thing here. I saw that price is already trading in the weekly order block, and this is what I could see. Now, this is a weekly bullish order block, right? This is a bullish weekly order block, and because it is NFP, I am going to analyze my trade from the weekly, because why? It's usually a very, very volatile, day, in the market, and everybody looks forward to NFP days, right? Some people only even trade on NFP days, and they just, forget about whatever it is that's happening in the market. So as you can see, that rejection actually happened, in that zone, right? Now, what can I see? Let me just make this a bit long. I can see these 3 candles here. Let me just move this a bit so that you can see the candle I'm making reference to. Now, look at this candle. Just look at this candle. 1, 2, 3. You can see that, the first candle here closed here, very close to the 18183. And then you can see that the second candle the body of the second candle could not go past the body of the first candle, which is the black candle, right? But the spike actually swept liquidity right here, as you can see on the weekly, right? Meaning a new low was created. I'm referring to what happened in February 2023. This is not the current market. So focus your attention on this area, guys, right? Pay attention to this area. This is my reference point for trading gold in the course of NFP. So I know that whatever happened to this zone is very, very key, right? Now, as a smart trader, let me just clear the chart so that I can explain very well. Now, look at this 3 candle. This 3 candle was my reference point. So I know that this place that I mark now up until 1810 is a very, very key level. And as you can see, that was already tested at some point, right? On the 2nd of October. If you go to the daily, right, you can see for whatever reason, you can see that price never even got to that place. If you look at it from the daily perspective, I don't know what happened, from the chart, but when you go to the weekly, you probably see that it has actually gotten there, and that's why, because I'm actually playing back. All right. Now, let me take this off again so that I really want you to see very clearly. Now, in trading generally, in the Forex market, when you see a candle like this with the middle candle having the longest path towards the downside, when it's on the upper side is the reverse. We'll talk about that some other time, but let's focus on this. Now, this last one that painted here, this middle candle, this very long blue candle, is a good reference point for me. Why is it a good reference point? It is a good reference point because the spike is longer than the spike of the one to the left and the spike of the one to the right. This in smart money concept is called, this whole place here is called a rejection block. Please pay attention to what I am marking, right? So for me, I already know that there is a likelihood that price will still trade back into this area, but I know that my stop loss has to be somewhere below this. But mind you, this is a weekly time frame, so it might not be the same when you're looking at it from a daily perspective. But this very zone, let me mark it green, to show my own support in my own description, right? This very rectangle here, horizontal support is very key for my trading. So let me extend it to the current market, and as you can see, price already rejected the top of it, right? So I am hoping I'm believing that price will not go past the yellow zone, right? Mind you, I already know that from this spike at the top to this spike at the bottom is my bullish order block. This whole area here, let me just, for the purpose of this whole area here, is my bullish order block. This whole area up until this place is my bullish order block. So I know that price, there will be some very strong reaction. Let me even mark it in this yellow zone. Let me make it a yellow zone. So I'm expecting some sort of reaction in the yellow zone. So I know that once price spike or close below 1804, then market is going to continue to go bearish. So my stop loss should be somewhere around this area. However, if I look at this trade, I will mark the bottom of this area, right? I'll mark the bottom of this weekly candle. Weekly rejection. Sorry, this rejection block. Yeah, is a weekly rejection block. I'll mark the bottom of these two candle, that is the body of the black and the body of the blue candle. So I know definitely, nothing is certain in trading, but I know there is a high probability that there will be a retest of this point here. Focus on that circle. There will be a retest of that blue circle at some point in the course of NFP. So how do I set up my trade? Now, don't forget, I have a bullish bias, and I know that at some point price is actually going to test this area, right? So I am looking out for price coming back into this zone, reacting to this zone, and continuing to sell, right? But temporarily, I am bullish on gold, all right? So let me mark this red to denote my my bearish order block. So in the future, I am going to be looking out, to sell from this zone, but I'll definitely wait for price action, to see whether there will be a break above this point, for a bullish continuation. However, until price does otherwise, I'm still kind of bearish overall. Until price does otherwise, I'm still bearish overall. However, don't forget, I am bullish in the medium term, right? So, and that is what is informing how I'm going to trade the NFP. So what then happened? I went back to the daily time frame and I realized that this was the last candle that painted. And I see difficulty I already see that price had been finding it very difficult to break this particular zone. So what am I looking to do? All right, I am not seeing enough data on the table. So what I will do, but I already know that there is tendency for price to get to this area. Let me mark this dark orange area, that is somewhere around here. I can adjust it as I go. Let me make it a different color. Let me make it a green color, right? So that we can, I'll make it a bit thicker so that we can take note of that when I get to lower time frame. So I know that price is going to come and react to this area, right? And I know that there is a possibility that price would move, upward from here. And whatever I do, I must ensure that my stop loss is just below the rejection block. All right. So that is given. So I then went to the 4-hour time frame, and then wow, things now became very interesting. Now, in the 4-hour time frame, what am I seeing, right? Now, before I continue, let me just quickly show you what I was doing with gold, since the beginning of the week, right? I shared this on TradingView. If you can see my chart, I shared this on TradingView, and I had this trade set. And if I play this forward, you will see what actually happened, right? Now we met our TP1, and then what happened? Price went, and I waited. When I saw this happen, I waited. I know at some point price is not going to close, below the red zone here. So I waited. So I went and did another, setup. So, and as you can see, we've already hit our TP1 on this trade setup that I shared on TradingView, and we've actually also done TP2. So let's go back to the setup for NFP. So as you can see, it's now becoming much clearer, and you can see that this was the last candle that painted, right? Now, what this is doing to me right now is that it's making it easier for me to know how to refine where to put my stop loss. So I already know that price has tested this area, right? And I know that there is the possibility of sweeping this liquidity. So what did I do? I went back to the weekly time frame, all right? I went back to the past, paid particular attention to this particular candle, right? And then looking at breaking this down into 3 equal parts and choosing the 50% area as my area of stop loss, right? If price goes past 50% of this during NFP, then I know that I am definitely going to be wrong. So I will take my horizontal line and I'll put it on the 0.5 area. So I know that if price ever goes below 1807, then my prediction is wrong. So to manage my risk, I know that whatever it is that I'm going to do, I'm going to put my stop loss slightly below 1807, probably 1806, which was what I did, right? So let's go back to the daily time frame and see if you can see, any sign of where price may likely get to. So what I did was, right, I came back and I looked at, the fair value gap in between this place and here, because when price was going down, created a huge imbalance here. What do I mean by imbalance? It is expected that, this first candle, the second candle, and this third candle, the wick of the first and the wick of the third are meant to be connected, but they are not. So what I'm going to be doing is to look at, okay, where am I going to be taking my initial TP, all right? So where am I going to be taking my initial TP? So I already know that this fair value gap, don't forget, check my previous video. I made reference to consequent encroachment. That is the middle of the fair value gap, especially when it's huge, is called the consequence. Let me put it here again. Consequence encroachment. It's called the consequent encroachment. So I already know that my TP should be around here in the first instance if I do not want to be greedy. So I am looking to take profits at 1840. All right. So now the next thing I want to do is to go to 4-hour time frame to see if I can get any basic entry point. So I already know, for me, I'm not even going to go any lower. I already know that this is going to be my entry, right? So I will go and take my long, position, because I'm making reference to the last part. I know because of volatility, price and actually spike to this place. And don't forget, this is where I intend to, take my trade. Now, that blue line is 1807. I'm going to put my stop loss just below it. Now, what is important to me here is that my risk reward makes a lot of sense. And what do I mean by that? My risk reward makes a lot of sense because what I have done is to ensure here that my risk reward is more than my stop loss. So my risk reward ratio here is 4:1 to 4.21, meaning that my reward is going to be 4 times, my, risk, which is a good risk reward. So I am going to let this play out now so that you can see. Now, letting this play out, let's now see what happened on NFP day. I may take this very slowly. Just let's see. So as you can see, price, I wasn't bothered about whatever price was going to do. I can see price came and, at NFP, you can see I took my entry now. Took my entry and then went up back. Let me also tell you something. What I did was I had 3 different positions, right, along this area. I was thinking that price may not get to 1813. So I had my initial entry at 1814. All of them are, pending order. I had a pending order at 1814. I had another at 1813.5, and I had another one at exactly 1813. As you can see, price could not go below 1810 area, which actually made my setup a very good setup. And this was how my trade went. I just quickly want to check if I actually have it, my trade on this particular. No, I don't have it here. So let me just quickly show you how that actually played out from the group. As you can see on my screen here, I still have the trade that the setup or the pending order at 1813. I mean, because of volatility, it didn't peak at 1813 already, and I'm secured. So this is already in profit, and as you can see, it got to as high as 1831 or 1832. Now, the other thing I would like you guys to see in my setup, is the result of the other one from the Finspot group, right? As you can see, this is the result, of the entry at 1814. I took some number of pips from there. The one at 1813.5, I took this number of pips, and I took, I closed out all my entry. This was a partial profit here, and I took the other profit here. So guys, this was how I traded the NFP, and this was the Finspot NFP trade setup. Guys, if this video has made a lot of sense to you, I would like you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification the notification button, so that you can receive subsequent, video or notification on any new video that is shared on this channel. Stay blessed, guys. See you in the next video. Bye.